Welcome, fellow adventurers, finally to the next chapter of our official campaign, the first session of the second chapter. We are so happy to be with you today, and I know that my players are all excited. And as you can see, a new face, a new player has joined us, so we'll see how it goes. If you haven't, I advise that you go over and watch the introduction video to the second chapter, which goes quickly over whatever the happenings of the first chapter and explains what happened in between the 7 months from the first chapter, from the last event of the first chapter, and to the events that now begin in the second chapter. With that, we shall begin. You are all located in formerly the hamlet of Filzar, and now the village called Hammerdeep. And let's see what Hammerdeep looks like, shall we? As you can see, some of the people currently living in Hammerdeep have gathered around Barthrand, Bolin, and Oracle, who have performed a little service. Blessing the people. It is currently morning, and the service is finishing. The people are slowly leaving. As they're leaving, right, Barthrand turns to both Oracle and Bolin, and he tells you, "Lads, I need to talk to you for a moment, if you will. We'll once the people disperse, we'll go to the Ecclestrium headquarters."
Yes, Potter.
Hey.
As everybody's leaving, you go and you go to the Ecclestrium headquarters, right? You've noticed that while you were walking here, that a female that you haven't actually seen before, right? A human female was following you as well. As you enter the headquarters and you settle, the female removes her hood, and you see a human of otherworldly beauty. Her lovely body and mere presence would otherwise instill lustful thoughts, but that is not the case. Quite the contrary, you cannot keep your gaze on her for long and instinctively bow with respect towards her. Barthrand introduces her as Gematista and tells you that she hails from the human kingdom of Abandon. He then tells you that, for the time being, she is to join you on your quest. She will be of great use to you. She's also to be considered under the direct protection of the Ecclestrium. Looking at both Oracle and Bolin, he speaks, "Brothers, no harm must come to Gematista while she is under the protection of the Ecclestrium. As knights of the Ecclestrium, you are duty-bound to see to her safety. Should anyone attempt to do her harm, after you have explained to them that she is under our protection, you have my blessing to eliminate them with extreme prejudice. Is that clear?"
It shall be done so, Potter. No harm shall come to you, Gematista. Have no worries. The One protects.
Aye, lassie, do not worry.
You are in capable hands.
On to matters at hand. As I have told you already, my goal now is to consolidate all forces loyal to the Ecclestrium under the hallowed walls of Hammerdeep. This is a necessary step before we can proceed with our ultimate goal here, finding the cure for the taint. To this end, as I have discussed it with you previously, you will travel to Rezax and bring Grandmaster Kael'ren and his Voidbreakers here. Unfortunately, things are rarely that straightforward. The denizens of Hammerdeep, under the protection of Hardrimar, have established trade routes with the cities of Visnia and Rezax, With the surplus of people coming to Hammerdeep lately, we need this trade to keep everyone fed and safe. The last merchant caravans sent both to Visnia and the Rezex have not returned. I will organize a larger group of dragonkin and dwarves who will be led by Essen to investigate what happened to the merchants that traveled to Visnia. You, on the other hand, you are on your way to Rezex anyway, so while traveling there, find out what happened with the merchants. Eh? We need to resolve this matter as soon as possible. Do you have any questions?
So,
Yes, Garvin.
we get to kill people, right?
That is so Orla's thing to say.
You get to serve the Ecclestrium as a proper knight, even though you're not one. You need to find out, as I said, you need to investigate and discover why the merchants sent to Rezex have not yet returned. Now, they might have been attacked on the way. They might have stayed in Rezex. I do not know. I only know that weeks have passed and they have not yet returned. That is worrisome.
Okay, what,
From my previous experiences, they might have acted like Poland and Orlos. So, who knows?
How long does it usually take for the caravan to come back?
They should have been here a week ago, so that is 5 days in game time.
And that's really strange. I don't think they would be.
No.
If everything went well, and even if, well, maybe. Do we know what sort of trade were they supposed to do?
They were mostly buying food and other necessities.
Would it be locally accessible products, or is it something that was...
No, besides, Bolan, you know that we do not produce nearly enough food.
No, I'm not asking that. I'm asking the things that they were supposed to get. Are those, did they maybe go to the port to pick up something of the ships, or is it from the marketplace itself?
It's mostly things from the marketplace, but things that the denizens of Rezex would have.
Exactly,
from
that's
the
my
trade.
question, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. So it is a little bit strange then for them to be a week.
Most of the traders that were sent there were dwarves led by some of the local dragonkin. So people that I have fully trusted.
Dwarven brothers,
yes, our dwarven
there is
brothers
no
are
more
missing.
time, lads. Thank you, Barthrand. We are leaving straight away. Gather your things, lads, lassie. You just...
Very important question. This is the second most important question. When we find out what happened, and when we bring them back, are we allowed to take the walls that Bolan wants as well?
The walls shall be freed. We shall see to that.
We have discussed this already. Bolan knows it. You are now acting as knights of the Ecclestrium.
I agree,
you
Master.
know
No.
that the Asrian war back on our homeland is taking its toll in our brothers' lives. You know for a fact what is happening in Hardremar as well.
Don't worry, brother. I'm fully aware of what's going on.
So, Garvin, to answer your question, there will be no antagonizing of the local populace of Rezex until the Ecclestrium decides differently. And for the time being, my order stands. No antagonizing. Is that clear?
But the main thing is, you bunch of fuckers, despite the provocation from the dragonkin, no fighting. Oi! No fighting. No fucking fighting. No fighting. No fucking fighting!
Also, until Grandmaster Kael'ren, if Grandmaster Kael'ren proves it otherwise, the Void Breakers are our allies, servants of the Ecclestrium as well. You are going back to bring them home here safely. Right, Bolin?
And you can clearly see Bolan's head down and just like silently muttering,
I put my hand on Bolan's shoulder. Don't worry, we shall get them safely here. But the thing is, with the
And
killer...
Bolan is thinking like how much Arakalt was sucking up to Kael'ren, you know, and he kinda doesn't see it, but...
What if his transition here proves difficult? How are we to approach this?
Well, you are to assist Kael'ren in any difficulties he has with coming over here. You are to foster brotherly relationships and brotherly love with the elf. Now, if he gives you a reason to doubt his intentions, then I expect, as Knights of the Ecclestrium, that you will do everything in your power to dissuade Kael'ren of doing anything that would be against the interests of the Ecclestrium.
Garvan, would that be okay with you?
Garvan, I know that you owe your allegiances to Kael'ren, and be sure I respect Kael'ren as well. Now, you understand why we are doing this. Our mission is of such great importance. The taint is a blight upon all mortals. We have a chance here to rid ourselves of it permanently. But I need everybody here. I need to know that our base of operations is safe. I need to know that everybody participating in this quest is of a singular mind and purpose.
And I smash my fist off my plate.
Before you leave, I would advise talking to Essen to see if he needs something else. I've also heard that some of the local denizens of Hammerdeep would like to talk to you as well. I know for a fact that the little child Retaka wants to speak with you.
Hey, Rataka.
Okay.
Beautiful child.
And now, if that is all, may the One protect you. May he guide you, and may you serve him well. Farewell.
Praise be the One.
You go back to the streets of Hammerdeep. You, before leaving, you once again look around the place. You look at the marketplace. You look at the streets, the buildings that the dwarves helped build quickly, and everything that's been rebuilt in the past 7 months. And you look at the place with pride. It has grown so much in 7 months, and even though it's the first month of it's the season of death, it's really cold. There is a warmth inside you that just defies the cold air outside. You notice that as you go outside, that Giamatista took a banner of sorts that was near the entrance. You look at the banner, right, and it seems like a normal banner with a piece of large cloth on its top, and you can see that it that it has a faint sign of the One on the banner, but otherwise it is unremarkable. Right?
Oh.
She constantly keeps it in her left hand.
Oh, Giamatista. I don't know you. And I don't like things I don't know.
Well, we're gonna go on the adventure together. You get to know me.
You better watch yourself. I don't know people. I don't like people I don't know.
Well,
Garon,
trust me, I kinda don't like them too.
Garon, you heard Barthrand. If he trusts her this much...
Hey, Lassie, why do you carry that banner?
It was given to me for safekeeping, so I need to keep it safe.
Must be a really dear and important person that gave it to you if you keep carrying it around the world with you.
Yes.
Good, good. Love is good. We all need to spread the love and the love of one for his children.
While talking amongst yourself, you realize that Orlos is not with you, and you haven't
Where is that?
you haven't seen him during the service.
My
Of
first
course.
thought is he's drinking.
He's drunk in the inn, probably.
Yeah.
Like, he missed all of the services we were doing, so it's kind of normal thing for him. I guess we are off to the inn anyways
Okay.
to speak with Essen and Rataka.
Yeah. Okay, so you turn around and start going slowly towards the inn.
Yeah.
Sorry, Bolin.
Oh, sorry, Bolan, didn't see you there. No, I like that the inn has a name now.
Hey, look who it is.
Of course, you're going to find him at the inn.
Of course he's here. Naturally. Essen behind the bar. In full gear, ready to head outright. And as you enter the inn, you can see a conversation between the two of them. Essen talking to Orlos. So, Orlos, we have an agreement. You will watch over the inn. You will do that thing that you said you wanted to do, but you will not overdo with the drinks. Yes? And you can see Orlos, oh yes, of course, Essen, no worries, no, it's grand, it's gonna be fine.
Whoa, stop right there. Essen,
What?
are you out of your mind?
What's going on here?
You're leaving an inn. Orlos,
Essen,
are you sure you want to do that?
Essen
Do you
turns to
realize the mistakes you're literally doing right now?
We won't have an inn to return to.
Fellows,
What are you doing?
well, as you have already been informed by Barthrand, I hope, we are all leaving on missions of our own. Orlos asked to stay in Hammerdeep, and I thought, why not keep the inn safe? Besides, Orlos has a different reason for staying in the inn, and it's not alcohol. And you all look at Orlos, and he's kind of blushing a little bit.
Oh no.
No. Oh hell no.
This is so wrong.
Excuse me? What the heck?
And he Orlos turns to you, and he's like, "What?"
FBI, open up!
Exactly, like what the fuck?
What? And he's looking at you. What? Oh no! It's not Rataka. No.
Wait, I did not see any female dwarves around here.
He looks at you like, female dwarfs? Arakalt, you bloody idiot! What would I do with a female dwarf? What?
Well, wait, since when are you starting to get interested in men?
Oh, he's like mumbling to himself, right? And he just turns around and leaves. Orlos is just like shaking his head and goes upstairs. Essen is looking at you, right? And he says, so you heard this troublesome news with the merchants, right?
Aye. What can you tell us about it?
Well, I do not know much more than you, my friends. Only that both groups are missing. Do you have a plan on how to approach this problem?
Well, we are headed into Rezex.
Ask questions and demand answers is our tactic.
You think that they were held up in Rezex?
I mean, didn't one caravan go to Rezex other in Visnia?
Yes, I know, but seems to me that you think that your caravan was held up in Rezex.
Yeah.
We hope for the best, laddie. We hope for the best.
Could be, but that would be strange. I mean,
Aye, it's uncommon, yeah.
you know yourselves that all the castless are now officially recognized as denizens of Hammerdeep. The soldiers are no longer hunting us. Furthermore, most of the dragonkin soldiers are now fighting in the Ezrian War. I do not
And
see a reason why they would be detained.
There is a thought that just jumps in my head, right?
I have a theory.
And I can see only one thing, and it's Calaran. You know, but I don't say it out loud. That's in my head. Calaran.
Okay.
I have a theory. Maybe the Spirants.
Could be, because I think that they were attacked.
Me too.
I don't know about you, but I've instructed my men to disguise themselves as another merchant caravan. We'll roam around the area and see
nice.
if anyone's gonna attack us.
Well, the thing is, aspirants were helping the castles, so I don't see any reason for them to attack.
I reckon that's true, but the aspirants are unknown to me, unlike the soldiers who must follow the rule of law.
We are going to do what we can about the investigation.
Okay, and Essen then looks at that you, Jamatista, and says, let's see, your companion that was with you, right? She's staying in the room, in the inn?
She's staying with Barthrand.
Okay. Because she was here looking around, and then he looks at you, right, and tells you, kind of whispers a little bit. That's the main reason why Orlos wants to stay.
Oh.
Okay.
Personally, I think it would do him some good, to have a stable person in his life, because between us, right, he is a rather odd and unstable fella, isn't he?
I don't know him.
That's an understatement.
I don't know him, but my friend, she needs to be safe.
Oh, well, look, if she's staying with Barthrand, I have no doubt that she will be safe, even from...
More or less, yes.
Good.
Anyhow, Rataka told me that she would like to talk with you. I'll go get her. She's in the room, right? And Essen leaves.
Before you go, did you maybe see in the Gvabat? I haven't noticed him around.
You all realize that you actually haven't seen Gvabat for quite a few days now. You know that he was getting really, really restless, and that staying inside the walls wasn't really his thing. And you know that, especially the last few weeks, he was a little bit resentful and was talking about the shiny a lot, right?
So Essen, did you see him maybe?
Oh, he basically says no, like you, he hasn't seen him for at least 3-4 days. He thought he was with you, right? And you thought he was with Essen or somewhere else, right? So you have no idea where he is. Essen goes up, and after about 2 minutes comes down with Rataka. Rataka greets you, comes over to you and says, my dear friends, I have a request to make, if that is okay. I heard from Barthrand that you will be leaving us soon, and that your destination will be Razax. Is that true? I have been reading a lot lately, mostly books of a religious kind, books pertaining to the teachings of the faith in the One, and I've read everything that Barthrand had with him so far. So, if you could find more books of that nature in Razax, because I know that they trade with Lormar and Arjamar, right? They have a much bigger marketplace than we do. If you could acquire any of those books of that nature and bring them back to me, I would be really, really, really grateful.
I cannot promise you anything, but I will try.
I know it's a lot to ask, and I'm sorry I don't really have any coin to spare.
No, that won't be an issue, come on.
Fine.
The one shall provide, do not worry.
Okay.
Yeah, but can you tell us the books you read, so...
The books I read? It's mostly the basic teachings of your faith, right? There are some books that explain the lives of the saints, and some of the books that go into theories, you know, about the nature of the one, the nature of angelical beings.
Okay, awesome.
If we manage to find something that you haven't read, we'll definitely bring you some.
You know that you personally have read much more than she has about those things, right? Those types of books. But again, you're not in Hammerdeep, so literature like that is not readily available.
Yeah.
Right.
Sense.
So
I'm proud, you know. Poland is proud that she is interested in those books. You know? It kind of warms my heart, you know. I go there and I put a hand on her.
She gives all of you, right? She gives all of you a hug. You know, this is technically goodbye, right? And once she hugs Garvan, Bolan, and Oracle, because she already knows you from before, right? She gives Jematiste a little nod and a little smile, and she says, before returning back to her room, she says, "May the one keep you safe." I think that is how you say it, right? And please return safely back to us.
I have one request of you, though.
She's on the stairs, right? And she turns around. Yes, Oracle.
Please keep an eye on Orlos, that he doesn't make a fool of himself. Too much.
I will try, but this is Orlos we're talking about.
I know. That's why I'm asking you.
Like, he spent 7 months inside, right? Everybody in Hammerdeep knows what he's like.
His reputation.
Exactly, he has a reputation already.
While still chuckling about Orlos, the group says their goodbyes and leaves the inn. The group then heads back to the Ecclestrium's headquarters to ask for supplies for the journey from Barthrand. They decide that, like Essen, they too will pose as another merchant caravan. Just before the Ecclestrium headquarters, Nazina, Hammerdeep's alchemist, stops the adventurers and pleads for their help. She gives them a list of ingredients that she needs and a coin to buy them, explaining that the missing merchants should have brought these items to her. The group agrees to help her. Inside the headquarters of the Ecclestrium, they find Jematista's companion speaking to Barthrand. Her unusual accent piques their interest, but other than Jematista, who says her goodbyes, they do not interact with her much. Barthrand gives the adventurers the supplies they will need together with a cart and a donkey. Before finally leaving, though, Garvan decides to quickly check if Verbad the Goblin is still hiding somewhere in Hammerdeep. Together with Kelvin, and much to Bolan's dismay, they head to the nearest guard outpost and ask some of the dwarves from Hardimar that now protect Hammerdeep if they had recently seen the little goblin.
Garvan and Oracle, you went back to the barracks, you say hi to the guards there, they greet you, they know who you are, right there. You can see that they're actually honored that you've decided to stop by. Everybody knows that you're leaving on a mission, right? And some of the dwarves are there and they're like, "Hey, hello! What can we do for you?"
Hello there, lads. Brothers.
How are you?
"Oh, you know, we're grand, everything's fine. It's a little bit freezing, but other than that, it's actually okay. We do miss Hammerdeep a bit, you know, but hey...
I know.
You know, this place, it has its charm. I mean, after all, it has been built on the glorious dwarven ruins of old, so... It does have perks.
Well, brother, soon we shall make this. Equally the same of glory of Hadrimar. Don't worry about it. It will start to feel like home.
I know, Oracle, I know. I mean, when you put enough dwarves, anything is possible. Tell me, what can we do?
We have a quick question for you, lads.
Unfortunately, no. We asked Barthrand as well. We pleaded him to let us go with you and assist you on the mission, but he said, "No, you're needed here. There's not enough guards. Apparently, most of the dragonkin have been sent to aid in the Ezreal war, and he's afraid that something might happen to Hammerdeep. And, you know, he does have a point. I mean, it would look pretty bad if we lose it now, right? So...
You're breaking my heart. I don't know. I can't take this.
This is completely not okay.
Yeah, of course, we heard you're traveling to Rezek, so... we wanted to see what was gonna happen in Rezek, because we heard what happened last time, and oh boy, that shit was funny!
Yes. That story. It may have been a bit over-exaggerated, but...
No, it wasn't.
What? You mean Bolin didn't smite the head priest? I heard that Bolin gave him a good old dwarven proper wallop, so...
He did, but with words.
The high priest did lie.
Yes, okay, then we have another question for you.
Yes.
Have you seen a little goblin Vabat?
Hey, that small wee fella that was always following you. No, actually, no. I haven't seen him for a few days. And then he turns to the other guy. Have you seen him? And the other guy says, No, I haven't seen him. No, sorry.
Well, Gauren, we tried.
We did try.
Okay.
We have to try harder. We have to ask everyone.
Despite Garvin insisting to search some more for Verbat, the party ultimately leaves Hammerdeep and proceeds with their mission to discover what had happened to the merchant caravan sent to Rezek. During their travels, our adventurers discuss their current situation amongst themselves. They are particularly interested in Gematista, the newest member of the group. Barthrand seems to hold her in very high esteem, although she arrived to Hammerdeep only recently, and they did not know each other from before. Gematista, however, avoids answering the group's questions, and her companions learn nothing of her past. They do, however, learn that she is a mage that specializes in healing, an extremely rare sight in all of Averon. Some days later, the adventurers are attacked by a large pack of hungry wolves. The cold and lack of food that usually accompanies the season of death, the current season of Averon, has driven these poor beasts to desperation. Foolishly hoping to feast on the group's donkey, they charge at the adventurers. The wolves, as one might expect, proved no challenge for our heroes. Before most of them even reached the adventurers, they were killed by the many different spells available to our brave heroes. Surprisingly, even though Gematista explained how she was a mage that focused on healing, during the fight with the wolves, she did demonstrate that she was more than capable of conjuring damaging spells as well. The group was, at least to a certain degree, surprised by this.
I get to Yametista.
You healed those wolves pretty nice.
Oh yeah, might have some destruction spell too.
She explains that she does have a few damaging spells here and there. You know?
Yeah.
Right, you get an experience point. Okay, you continue on, and after about 2-3 hours, you notice broken carts, broken crates. You approach the area.
Yeah, rush to the spot, yeah.
You see blood and near the place. And if somebody has lore natural, they can throw it now.
7.
You clearly see signs of battle, and that the blood has dried up. The way that the blood is splattered around the crates and nearby trees and whatever, you can assume that it's from a battle. You could assume that it was made by slashing weapons because of the blood splatter, right?
Seems they were attacked.
Assuming that this belongs to the dwarves, you are fairly certain that they were attacked on their way back to Hammerdeep.
And the supplies are still there.
None of the supplies are there. Some of the crates have been smashed. Some of the crates, some of the carts have been smashed as well, but none of the supplies are there.
And all the bodies are gone.
All the bodies are gone.
Do we see any marks of dragging the bodies?
You see
like
clear
blood marks.
Yeah, you see clear marks of dragging. You see, when you start looking more closely through the area, right? You notice footprints, heavy footprints of most likely humanoids, most likely wearing armor, and they are not disguised, right?
Can we discern in which direction they left?
You can.
You can follow the tracks.
You can.
Yep, I have survival.
They go south.
There is only one option now. We follow.
And
Yep.
the tracks lead back here. Okay, you start going towards
Underground.
there, right? But it's soon dark, and you make camp
Okay.
in this area
Aye.
here. Right. You follow the tracks, and then the tracks suddenly disappear completely. Right.
I'm gonna try to roll a survival to see if I can find any kind of tracks, because there might be rain during the night. Who knows?
Okay.
I mean,
Right. While looking at the tracks, you suddenly realize that the tracks cut off unnaturally.
Can I
okay.
throw Lore of Supernature?
Sure.
Could this be an illusion?
It must be. Must be an illusion. This is not normal.
7. You are unsure what exactly is happening, but magic could be involved.
Does anybody have Dispel... Jametista, do you have maybe Dispel Magic at your disposal?
No, unfortunately I don't.
This is not... If there is something here, they will see us easily and we will not see them. I think
so
we should go a little bit further.
You move
I
away
agree.
from the area. Okay.
I
A
agree.
bit further away.
You move away from the area and set up camp. Let's say.
I mark the way that we went
Okay.
on the trees or something,
Right. So
just-
you can easily return.
so we know. Yeah,
You go back. How far do you want to go back from the area? Half an hour,
Back-
hour, 2 hours.
I'm back to Hammerdeep.
No. I
I think an hour is enough.
40 minutes till 1 hour, something like that.
Yeah, an hour is enough.
Hour. 1 hour away.
I hope it's enough.
Okay. You go an hour from this place back northeast, let's
Yep.
say, and set up camp there.
The adventurers set up camp, assigning watch duties amongst themselves. The following day, at dawn, while Garvin was watching over the camp, he heard heavy footsteps approaching them. He managed to quickly wake up everyone, and the party grabbed their weapons. As they prepared for the worst, the group was shocked to see soldiers of the Nosmer Empire approaching them. With most of the group unarmored and just now woken up from sleep, they knew that should it come to it, it would not be an easy fight.
Yeah.
Are those Norsemer invaders?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
The very.
Okay, Joseph, keep it cool, okay?
Yeah.
We need to find the guys.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just a little. thing.
No, not those two artists, come on. Joseph. Oh, no, you didn't!
So,
Okay, now
Wow.
you're taking it overboard.
Yep.
This guy here, the one with the
The
staff.
mage.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
speaks in Lormark actually. He knows the language.
Okay.
You there, you're gonna follow us, and you're gonna do what you're told.
Yeah,
You're-
I'm just
you're-
like.
You're amazed, right? Nobody has seen them for quite some time. You know that they physically left with the ship. You've seen the ship, and you know that the ship has left.
Yeah.
And here a bunch of Nosmer appear out of nowhere, out of the blue. And
Yep.
here's this guy speaking in Lormark, and he's like, "Yeah, you're gonna follow us." So you're kind
Well-
of stumped. You're kind of stumped.
No. This is Garvin.
well,
Yeah.
first off, good morning to you two. Who might you be?
They approach.
Let them approach a bit more.
Of course. The closer, the better.
Some measurements are being made. Yeah. Some measurements are being made. I see.
Yeah.
The guy speaks again. If you know what's good for you, you listen to what I have to say. Throw down your weapons, and you will be spared.
Well, they are actually known for keeping their word.
Garvin is feeling offended now.
Weapons are part of my religion.
Me too, you know. I do not throw my weapon down. I can put it back in the shit, but I'm not throwing it down.
The guy says, "This is your final warning. You throw the weapons now, or you die." They approach a little bit more. Their reluctance to attack you shows that for some reason they would rather take you alive.
I casually walk up to him.
Okay.
You know,
Do
I
it.
don't have an armor, I don't have a weapon, I just go, you know, like...
Okay, so do it. Here's
You know, like...
Okay.
I'm here as well.
Okay, so if you two are walking at the same time, then this one is gonna try and grab you, and this one is gonna try and grab
My weapon is on my back.
you. Okay.
We have
Are we
cheated
doing
your
some
war.
physical
Yeah,
contest?
cheated.
Yeah, it's a pure physical contest. Yeah.
Does he really want to do that?
Of
By the
course
way,
he
your
does.
physical die is improved by 1, just so you know.
Alrighty. Okay,
Yes,
so
exactly.
this one with Garvin. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now let's...
So this one
say-
fails. Let's see with
Bolan
Bolan.
got an 8.
Oh yes, one more destiny. Not destiny, one more research point.
This
Oh,
one got a
yes, yes, yes.
13.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, Bolan, you are currently grappled.
Okay, I'm not resisting.
Yeah.
I'm just standing. I mean, I'm resisting, but once I realized he has me in hold, I'm just like, you know, I slightly loosen up.
Right,
Yes.
Garvin, if you want to do something, you may.
I will unlock my friend here from the grab.
9. Okay, you succeed, right? You grab the person that's grabbing
Yeah.
his hand, right, and just kind of throw him away.
Yeah.
Right, and
Okay.
he's pushed a little bit.
And I reply with,
We came to you, not for you to, grab us. We just came to see what you want.
As he says, finishes that, right? I say, we will go, but at our own free will. You will not handle us like some prisoners.
And he tells you, but that is exactly what you are.
Did he say that?
He did? That is exactly what...
I'm slowly approaching them, like, while what they're doing here.
He shows with his hand, right? And you know what he's gonna do now. He's gonna lower his hand, and they're gonna attack. You have a moment.
Yeah.
Heaven's judgment.
If you're gonna use it, you gotta use it now.
The adventurers use the Nosma's strange reluctance to attack them, and the Nosma leaders overconfidence to their advantage and are the first to attack. While the rest of the group charges at the Nosma warriors, Jamatista smashes her mysterious banner into the ground, and it releases a wave of otherworldly energy.
A force of energy leaves the banner. Since you are all turned to your backs, right?
we don't see it.
You don't see what exactly is happening, but you feel. For a split
Nice.
second, you feel protected like you've never felt before. Like nothing can harm you for a split second. Oracle and Bolan, the feeling that goes through you is similar to the feelings that you had in the ruins before, but it is much more intensive and stronger and powerful.
Holy crap.
You almost hear whispers of a calming and soothing voice.
What do the whispers say?
You cannot discern. Bolan, your spell, your Heaven's Judgment spell instantly succeeds. And
I'm smiting this guy here, so.
it is stronger.
I'm just attacking him.
It is stronger than it usually is, and it is covered in blue flames as the lightning descends from the heavens.
He's basically smiting!
It's a sign.
Okay,
It's a miracle.
let's do this.
Bolan's empowered Heaven's Judgment instantly annihilates 3 of the Nosmer Empire soldiers in the back line. Oracle attacks the Nosmer Spellbreaker, but manages to only hit his armor with his attacks. After the initial surprise attack, the adventurers seize the initiative and continue with their assault before the Nosmer could properly react.
Jamatista, you know that the effects of your banner, once the energy dissipates, right, they only continually work if you're right next to it. So you're gonna benefit it. The lads
I
will
see.
not, unless you come closer, just so you know.
Jamatista takes the banner and rushes next to Bolan. The rest of the group stays where they are. Garvin attacks the Nosma Spellbreaker with 2 of his attacks. Gimatista does something that no ordinary mage should be able to do. She casts a sacred spell, Heaven's Judgment, just like Bolin did, on the 3 Nosmer warriors standing near Bolin. She also attacks one of the Nosmer archers in the backline with her Arcane Bolt attack. Bolin naturally casts Heaven's Judgment on the same 3 targets as Gimatista did. Arakald attempts to smite the Nosmer Spellbreaker in front of him, and with a normal second attack, he attempts to take down the archer to his left. The Nosmer Spellbreaker evades Garvin's first attack. Garvin's second attack finds no purchase. The armor that the Nosmer Spellbreaker wears protects him from the suffered blow. The Nosmer Spellbreaker overconfidently smirks at Garvin.
Looking at you, he says, "The dark gods will take you as a sacrifice."
The 2 Heaven's Judgment spells, augmented by Gimatista's mysterious banner, wreak havoc upon the 3 targeted Nosmer soldiers, and all 3 of them fall to the ground dead. The Nosmer Spellbreaker is taken aback by the effectiveness of Gematista's and Bolin's spells.
You can see a surprised look on the Spellbreaker's face, as if he was expecting the spells not to be as effective as they are.
Gematista's Arcane Bolt hits its intended target, but thanks to the target's worn armor, fails to do any serious harm. Arakald's Smite attack against the Spellbreaker is a critical hit.
And you slash at his neck where it's unprotected and you chop off his head.
Saying, "The one shall be your judge."
Oh,
Oh no!
The other guy,
Oh no!
"You're next." While I'm swinging my sword.
After cleaving the Nosmer Spellbreaker's head from his body, Arakal turns towards the Nosmer archer. Filled with righteous fury, his second attack ends up being a devastating critical hit as well.
Oh, that's another very nice number. Oh my god!
You stab him, right? As you slash this one and chopped off his head, you just continue the maneuver and from the other side, stab the guy through the face, through the slits in his open helmet, right? And quickly take the blade out.
Shocked at the sight of their comrades being slaughtered, the 2 remaining Nosmer soldiers falter. Our heroes use this opportunity to capture them alive.
You bring them over to the fire.
Well, a campfire, yes.
So
Yes,
you can
and
see
we'll,
the
let's
flail.
take their weapon, everything.
Oh yeah,
away.
yeah,
Yeah, we
you
take.
their wood. Yeah, you subdue them, you take their weapons away, right? And they still have their armor. Taking armor off forcibly from somebody isn't that easy, right? But
No, just helmets.
Oh,
yeah,
helmets.
take their helmets off exactly, and then tie their hands behind their necks, behind their back.
We have ropes. So
Yeah,
Behind their necks, yeah.
Come and warm by the fire, laddies. We have
Warm
some
yourselves.
questions.
They're looking at you, filled with rage and hatred.
Why are you so angry?
The guy that had the big tower shield, right?
Yeah?
He responds in a language that you don't really understand.
Can I throw my comprehended language?
Of course! Of course you can!
And let's just 1 more resource points to be able also to speak it.
You cast a spell, right? And he is, as he's speaking, you know, and since you didn't cast it from the beginning of him speaking, you kind of attune to the middle of the sentence, right? And you catch the following part. Rape your wives and your daughters, and we will spit on your graves, and we will violate your corpses.
Lovely. Let me just translate it to the guys. In the meanwhile, I'm gonna ask,
Yeah.
where did you
It's
come
okay.
from? How many of you is there?
He's a little surprised that you speak his language, right? But then he kind of nods his head and he says, "Witch."
Do you have anything against witches?
In my empire, you know your place. A woman speaks only when she is spoken to. And he spits
Well,
in your
you're
face.
in my area now.
He spits in your face, Gematista.
That's lovely.
Our heroes try intimidation as well as spells to force the Nosmer to speak and answer their questions. Unfortunately, nothing really works with the first Nosmer soldier. The second one also refuses to answer questions, but does say that even though the adventurers feel themselves safe, the Nosmer Empire will rise once again, and led by their chosen demigod of war, the Empire will conquer all of Everon, and their rule will last for 1,000 years. The adventurers then proceed with looting the bodies of the fallen Nosmer. They take most of their equipment and put it on their cart. Garvin cuts the heads of the defeated Nosmer soldiers and plants them on top of their swords and leaves them sticking in the ground where they died. Jematista becomes intrigued with the staff that the Nosmer spellbreaker was carrying.
I'm gonna go towards the staff, and I would like to cast Identify.
You identify the staff and realize that it is actually an artifact.
Yeah, and I would like to overcharge it to the visions of past.
Ooh.
Oh
Okay.
shit!
Okay, you see a vision, a horrific vision of the staff's creation, right? And you see slaves and others, dragonkin humans, ritualistically sacrificed, gutted, and these sacrifices are accompanied by specific rituals, right, that summon strange otherworldly entities who then, together with their presence and other spells, create such staffs. The creation of this one staff required almost 1,000 sacrificed souls.
Well, I'm guessing it's good that he didn't have a chance to use any spells.
The staff gives its wielder the resilient and tenacious aspects, and it also grants him the Spellbreaker's aura effect.
Okay.
Right. So
Okay.
the resilient aspect improves protection rating by 1. The tenacious aspect improves one's defensive rating by 1. And the Spellbreaker's aura makes the creature holding the staff, as well as others that are connected to the creature somehow, you're not sure exactly how, but you have a feeling that it has something to do with the ritualistic sacrifices that are made during the staff's creation. It grants them a protective aura that reduces the amount of received wounds from spells by 1.
We're gonna take that shit.
Somebody's going to attune to that shit.
No, you can't.
Yeah, no, that would be too dangerous. It's
Yep.
too much
I
darkness
don't
in
think
it.
it's.
Yeah, we're not gonna tune, but we're gonna take that shit so nobody else can take
Yeah.
it.
No.
Is there anything in the knowledge of the world I have, right? Do I know anything connected to their, let's say, a spiritual ascension into their type of heaven? Or what would prevent it in the Nosmer culture? Some
You don't know
type of-
much, right? Because the Nosmer Empire...
You know, like if they're killed that way, they won't get to heaven.
Yeah, look, you don't know much, but you know the following, right? The Nosmer do not believe in the afterlife, right?
Okay.
They believe that the material realm is the only thing that exists, and that once certain criteria is met, once they rule the world, right, and once they accomplish something, you're not exactly sure on this, what it is they try to accomplish, right? But you know that they believe eventually that they would all gain immortality as a reward for their service. The worst fate that they could suffer is actually to be killed, right? But because then you're dead, you won't be able to accomplish the task and be granted immortality.
The group decides that there would be no benefit in keeping the 2 Nosmer soldiers alive, and Arakald executes them both. The adventurers check their cart and make sure to bring enough Nosmer equipment as proof of the battle they fought against them. Agreeing that the merchant caravan was most likely attacked by soldiers of the Nosmer Empire, they leave this place and continue on to Rezex. The rest of the travel to Rezex is uneventful. A few hours before the outer walls of Rezex, the group suddenly spots soldiers from a distance. Approaching them, they realize that the dragonkin in front of them are not soldiers, but members of the Iron Bull's mercenary company. Their armor is dented, and the mercenaries appear to be all wounded and exhausted. The adventurers start a conversation with the Iron Bull's lieutenant, the same mercenary they already talked to 7 months ago, and ask him what had happened. The lieutenant answers, with a grimace on his face, that this is what happens when you go against the dragonkin caste system. The adventurers are left baffled.
You did what? Now?
Say again?
What?
Well, let's just say that the Iron Bull's mercenary company is no longer welcome within the walls of Ressex.
Come like this and like, come. It's okay.
Oh,
we feel there.
no, it's not okay. They still hold our leader.
We're gonna get him.
Do you need help?
Really? You're going to Ressex?
Yes. By the way,
I inspect how the dents look like. Are they from maces and stuff like
Oh
that?
yeah, they're clearly made from weapons,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, town guards or something.
so who beat you up like that?
Oh, I wouldn't say we were beat up, no.
No, I don't mean like that. Like who made those dents on your armor?
Those
I'm pretty sure I didn't live to see the other day.
Let's just say it was our fellow dragonkin. You know, they good lads. You know, but shit.
So it
What
wasn't.
they've been told.
So it wasn't the Nosmer.
Exactly.
The Nosmer. No, the Nosmer
I
has
can-
been in this
come-
island for 5-6
Come
months.
here.
Come
Come
here.
here.
Come
Well,
here.
you're there at the fucking campfire, right?
No. We pull him to the cart.
Okay, take him to the cart and you show him the spoils.
Yeah.
Really? Well, that's not good. Well,
Exactly.
I mean, it's good that you killed the Nosmer, don't get me wrong, but it's not good that what the hell are they doing on the island?
They are trying to take slaves for ritual sacrifice.
Exactly.
They were trying to take us alive, and you know that the forces of the Ecclestrium and Nosmer do not get along well.
Oh,
And they would attack us instantly.
like the Dragonkin and the Nosmer, like the humans and the Nosmer, like the king,
Like the world and the Nosmer.
like everybody, essentially. I mean, as far as I know, even the Nosmer have warring factions within themselves. Thankfully, for hundreds of years, they weren't led by a capable warlord, so there we go.
It might have changed. I don't know why, but I kinda have a feeling.
You said that you are now banished from Ressex and on the hunt. You're being hunted.
Oh no, it's not like we're being hunted per se.
Listen,
I just look at him like, and just looking at dents of his armor. About that, we may have a solution, partial solution. There is
yeah.
a safe haven that you can seek in Hammerdeep.
Oh, I know. Hammerdeep is basically the reason why we're in this mess.
okay,
What do you mean?
care to explain?
Well, I mean, it's no point in hiding it anymore. You remember when we originally met in the wilderness?
Yes.
Yes.
Well, you know how we told you that we're looking for the costless,
Costless?
right?
Yeah.
And how we set up a camp.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, we knew where they were. You know, we knew all along. The leader knew all along where they were. The reason why we set up camp over there so close was to actually watch over them. You know, to make sure the other dragonkin would go over and investigate that area.
I mean, we did exactly the same.
You know?
We were trying
The
to
thing
cover
is-
them and
Yeah. I mean,
We kinda wanted you to come with us there, but we didn't know how to,
well,
get you.
we didn't know if we could trust you back then. You know, we heard stories.
Yeah,
You know how it is. We were playing a dangerous game.
exactly. I can't blame you.
You know, so.
I'm glad.
But we told no one, right? We covered our tracks. Well, we thought we covered our tracks, but thought we were successful. But you know, there was a big problem in Ressex when all the official thing with Hammerdeep happened, right?
we don't know anything.
No,
You're
well,
looking at our first information after 6 months.
Look, it was obvious, right? Suddenly there's a whole settlement of castles dragonkin in one place, and nobody was able to find them before, even though Razek and Visnya were actively hunting for them. And lo and behold, and what a surprise, they were located in the area that we were in charge of. Right?
Yeah.
It didn't take a genius to connect the dots and realize that the Iron Bull's mercenary were actually,
Okay, so what happens with you now?
Well, of course our leader, protested against it. He tried to prove that the guild was innocent. I mean, all of us knew that we weren't and that we were guilty as charged.
That's very noble of him.
For a few months, we held our ground. We were questioned and everything, and then it was decided that we were guilty of all the accusations. Our leader took the blame on him. He said that it was all on him eventually, that he was the one who lied, and that he made it so that we never went further into that territory. Basically took the blame for the rest of the guild. He got imprisoned, we got expelled. Naturally, we didn't take too kindly to them laying their hands on our leader, so we did what every other normal and honorable member of a mercenary company would do. We tried to fight for our leader and rescue him from the dungeons. Unfortunately, we failed.
What about your families?
Well, our families are still in Rezex, technically being held captive so that we don't get any bright ideas again.
I'm gonna burn the whole Rezex down.
The Garvin, you shouldn't be mad at the Dragonkin. The soldiers that we had to fight, they're only following orders.
Aye.
Just like we were at one stage.
Okay, so
I hold no ill will against them. Even against our accusers, even against the nobility and the leaders of Rezex. I mean, we went against the law. We knew full well that at some stage this might happen, and we all agreed to it.
listen, you can find shelter in Hammerdeep, aye? And we will do everything. I mean, not everything. We will get your families to Hammerdeep as well.
We can do that.
We will try to see what we can do about the leader as well.
Okay, but we can't really leave here. We are honor bound to our leader, And then he lowers his voice and he says, "Besides, the men are in bad shape and we're kind of hungry."
The adventurers share their rations with the Iron Bull's mercenary company. After eating, the lieutenant explains that most of the mercenary company is now gone. They had died on a failed assault on the town dungeons in a valiant but ultimately futile attempt to rescue their imprisoned leader. The adventurers somehow managed to persuade the mercenaries to leave this place and to seek shelter in Hammerdeep. They are now, after all, considered as criminals and are wanted by the authorities of Rezex. Staying near Rezex would be suicidal. They also warned them to avoid the place where they fought the soldiers of the Nosmer Empire. Before saying their goodbyes, they promised the mercenaries once more that they will do everything in their power to save their families and their company leader. With that, the adventurers give them enough rations for their trip to Hammerdeep and say their farewells. Later that night, Giambattista asks the rest of the group how they knew the Iron Bull's mercenaries, and they explain how they met 7 months ago in the wilderness and thought that the Iron Bulls were hunting the castle's dragonkin. The adventurers tricked and led the mercenaries away from the dragonkin, or so they thought. Now it is clear that the mercenaries knew full well that the castlers were hiding in the former village of Filzar, now known as Hammerdeep. The adventurers continue on with their travels, and soon enough, finally reach Rezex.
Sometime tomorrow, before noon, you see the familiar, massive outer walls of Rezex. You slowly approach the city where it all began.
We're back.
And as we are approaching, I just look at Jametista and I point, towards the Raziks and I see. When we get inside, do not be fooled, lassie. A lot of stuff you will see in there is claimed by the dragonkin as their own beauties, and that they even said that they've built it, but you will see the beautiful craftsmanship of the stone, and in your heart you will know it can only be dwarven.
And with that, we will end today's session. I hoped everybody enjoyed our first official session of the second chapter of the official campaign. I know I had a wonderful time. I thank my players for joining me for today. And I hope you all had a lovely time, and I hope our viewers had a good laugh or two. And with that, we shall see you soon, I hope. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Godspeed, adventurers.